Okay, test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. All right. So since yesterday, I have adjusted my microphone a little bit. So hopefully, I should be a lot clearer now. I installed some add-ons recommended by a guide, and I tested it a bit, and yeah, it should be better. But let me know if this is still horrible. Let me just adjust the music a bit and start up Blender. What are we testing? I am testing some microphone stuff. Hopefully you should be able to hear me a lot clearer now. Can you hear the music, by the way? Just quite low right now. Kind of bassy, okay? Or bassy. Let me see. I don't know if I can do anything about that now. So for the stream, I'll have to leave it like it is. Because I know when I tested this yesterday, there was like a weird, almost like an echo in the end of my voice whenever I spoke. Like it's doing the gain or whatever very well. But in the end, there was a weird, what's the word? Trebly sound, like a hiss almost. So when I increased the bass a little bit, that disappeared. So yeah, I'm gonna have to lower that down again, I guess, if it's more annoying with the bass. Yeah, I have a pretty shitty microphone as well. It's really old now, so I should probably get something better. But then again, I don't stream much, so I don't know if it's worth it. Anyway, time to open up the tunnels project again. Here we go. This is the ventilation I made yesterday. And I did some changes after I stopped the stream because I realized I was doing it in a stupid way. I had 3 materials here when I could have just mixed the initial image in here. So what I did was I brought in this alpha of the grid, and then I used a vertex paint on this section just to tell Blender that this is where I want this alpha to be overlaid. And then I used a lighten mix in order to get this sort of pattern. So wherever the white is, that's where Blender will put the texture. That's the mask, right? So if I do this, you see basically the black here becomes transparent. And so this stuff here is actually just the same image over and over again, right? But because of that mask, I can get away with that. And from a distance, I think it looks pretty good. And the source image is just this picture of a random air conditioner. And I could probably improve this a lot more, but since it's going to be seen from like this distance or something, I don't need to do anything else. Okay. So that's those done. I have an issue with my other screen. Like I have 3 screens and one of them stops working. I have to unplug the power cord for a while, like 5 minutes, and then when I plug it back in, I can turn it on again. I don't know what's up with that. I probably have to get a new monitor as well. Yeah, the tunnel's below ground zero. I'm still kind of deciding how much detail I want to have on it. So here I have placed a few details. I'm just fixing the normals here real quick. Yesterday I added these ventilation floor pieces, whatever this is. I have added all the pillars. I've added the staircases. I think I've added all the staircases, right? Yeah, that's 3 of them. I did these little rooms here with a staircase. I am not quite sure yet if I want to have the door detail. So I spoke about this yesterday a bit, that some of these rooms, they have doors, but you cannot go into them. Like you can't open them. And I could keep that detail on the map, like just have a door here, but it won't lead anywhere. But it could also just be overkill. And I'm still not sure if I want to have this perspective or if I want to have something like this instead from a top-down view, kind of like I have on my old map. Let me just open PureRef real quick. Let's see here. Let's restore this. I'm not sure if this is the correct project. It is. Okay, so I don't think I have my old map here, but on my old Ground Zero map that is still on my site, I have a similar top-down map like this. And I think maybe a top-down view is best for interiors like this. So I might have to change some things also regarding how I view the city map itself, but I just haven't decided yet. But anyway, this place over here with the air conditioners, it's got like a fence around it, so I thought I'd add that. And like with everything else, I'm just going to bring in a plane, pull this in a bit, and I'm just putting it in a similar position as in this reference screenshot. Let me just double check so you can see that on the stream. The window is a bit small though. Maybe I should resize it a bit, just slightly. It's not super important, but at least you get an idea about what I'm looking at. Okay, so this fence goes to about here-ish, right? And then there's a second fence that goes all the way across here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select both of these. Maybe not actually. Let's put a plane here. Just a temporary plane. I'm going to put my cursor in the middle there. And then I'm going to put an empty right there. And I can delete this plane. So now I know that this empty is in the very middle of these two ventilations. So I'm just going to pull this across a bit. Something like this. And now I could use this this empty as a mirror object. So everything I do on this side will mirror across to that side and so on. And I can do the same with this, but I'm just going to pull this up first, like so. And I don't need the top or bottom or these sides here. So I'm going to delete those faces. Let's apply the scale on both of these as well. With the origin, I don't know, here probably. And again, I'm going to use that same empty if I can click on it. It's kind of hard to see in this view mode. There we go. And then I'm just going to use this to create the fence itself. Here, I think I'm just going to select this corner. I'm going to make a bevel with 3 subdivisions or whatever it's called, segments. It's 2 segments actually. Set the profile to 1, so that's there's no bend there anymore. And I think something like, I don't know, like this looks similar. So I'm just looking at the legs of this fence, right? remove that. I'm gonna add this support here. I can remove that up there. Do the same here, but on this side, I'm not gonna be that thorough with how like far away they are from each other and stuff like that, but this should be fine. And then I'm gonna change this back to a profile of 0.5. Let me do that again. P.5, there we go. Because I want that same bend that they have in the reference. Okay. And then this looks like it's kind of the same. You got one in the middle there, and then I'm gonna apply this now. And have this be a similar distance from the edge. Something like that. This can be removed as well. And then these corners, let me select all these actually. Should be equally rounded. So something like this. Looks close to the game version, right? Let's smooth this. And I think I'm gonna remove this mirror for a while. It's kind of distracting for some reason. And yeah, so now I want to convert this to a curve. I'm gonna lower the music a little bit because it's a bit too loud. Right, so now I don't want to have any of these faces anymore, so I'm going to remove only faces to begin with. Then I'm going to remove these bottom edges, right? And I don't need any of these. So I can dissolve those. And let's see. Maybe I should just select the borders first, like that, and like that. And I'm gonna just press P to separate them. That obviously doesn't work, so let's redo that. Convert that to a curve. And we want this to be a specific measurement. So let's say minus 0.02 maybe. Right click on this and say copy to selected so they both get it, and then apply scale again just in case. And then I'll do the same thing here. I'm gonna press Y. This doesn't work because Blender keeps resetting. It's because I keep forgetting to save this. So I'll do it now. I think there was a change in the latest version of Blender where if you press Y to split something, it just doesn't work as it used to. It's either that or it's an add-on that I have that created some issues. So I want this split selection to be a shortcut, Y. Try that again. It kind of works, but I don't want it to split off from the rest of this stuff here. I think the problem is that I removed the faces. That's why it does that. But it's fine. I'll just do this again. Select these by direction. I don't need these ones on the sides because I've already done those, right? And we're gonna change the thickness of these later. on this bot here. Okay. And then this one will be the last one, right? It looks like I accidentally removed the bend down there, so I'm just going to add that back. Just going to copy this, bring that down, merge by distance. And I'll select this curve, and that's it. Okay. Do the same thing here. Select by direction, unselect these, curve, and then these two, curve. Cool. And I think that's done. So now I just need to give them the same thickness. So I could just select all of these that I just made and select one of these because I know these have the right thickness already, and copy to selected. Okay, merge these together, and now I'll convert it back to a mesh object. Sharpen. I'm going to set the sharpness to 95 degrees. That way it will give everything a rounded look like that. So even though they're actually like square shaped, from a distance it will look as if it's round. Okay, I'm going to use that as the mirror object again and just mirror that across. And now that fence is done. I just need to give it a material. So what I could do is maybe just give it the same material as the what's it called? The ventilation thing. I'm just going to quickly select the back of some of these. I could probably remove some edges here because it seems like, let me select these three and isolate them like this. I don't need to have these edges going through. Okay, then on this side, I'll do the same thing. Select these real quick, add some seams. And that's mirrored across, right? So I don't need to do anything on that side. But what I do need to do is I need to select these, isolate them like this. I think I could actually do a limited dissolve here to remove those edges in between. And that should be good. I'm gonna put the origin in the center of this piece, and then you can unwrap, check UV editing. It's got one super long UV, which is probably this piece in the middle here. Let's double check anyway. It seems like it's this one here. Oh, that's because I forgot to add a seam there. Okay, I see. Let's try that again. So this looks fine. I'm going to quadrify that. Then I'm going to use UV Pack Master, align similar. I'm going to undo that actually. Change similarity to, actually I'm going to change the mode to vertex position. Check this box. And then we'll try this. I think this makes it so that if two shapes or two UV islands are very, very similar in terms of where the vertices are, it will move the vertices so that they overlap perfectly instead. So this should be fine. Then I'm going to go into packing mode, make sure lock overlapping is checked, otherwise it'll split them up again. Pack. And then I'm going to use this same material and move this into place. And the reason why this became invisible now is probably because I need to change the vertex color. Let's see if that helps. There we go. And I'll just overlap this somewhere where it makes a little bit of sense. Maybe this piece here. Somewhere a bit dirtier. Like that. I think that's good. I don't want to merge everything here because there's probably individual air conditioners here and there that I'll need to place. But at least now that's done. See that it's got these weird like half pillars here, and on my top down, I'm guessing it's this thing here. It is a small detail that I could change later, but I think that's a bit overkill, so I'll move on from this. Let's check the top-down view. Let's turn on the reference again. And I'm just going to see if I can spot any more locations for these air conditioners. And I'll place them right now. So I'm pretty sure there was one down here, or two. These look a little bit wider, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure that's the same anyway. Let's see if I can find a screenshot. I think I took a screenshot of this area, but I might be wrong. I mean, this is kind of close to it, but it's not. Can't really see. Let's leave that for now. It looks like there's also a different variant of these right here. I don't know if I have a screenshot of. Let's see, maybe in one of these reference pictures. So here I can kind of see, so it looks like it's something different. So this is not the same, I guess. I can remove those again. This looks like it's using that same fence that I made though. I just realized it's using a mirror. I'm gonna apply that. And then just data linked copy. It's down to here. I think it's close enough. Let's see if I can find those. So this is what's here, right? So it's basically the same thing. And looking at this reference, I have actually already made it. It's just mirrored across, right? So maybe if I just grab one of these, put the origin here instead. But then if I move the origin now, then everything will offset because these are instants, right? So if I do that, you see they move. So I think I'm gonna have to make this a new instance. And then I'll move the origin to the bottom here instead, mirror across, and that should be very much what's down here. Okay. Let's keep looking. There's some down there as well with the same type of fence. Let's gonna move that into place like that. It doesn't matter that it's not exact, because the main thing with the map is people should recognize it and be able to navigate with the help of this, right? That's the main purpose. It doesn't have to be an exact replica of the end-game thing. It just needs to look similar, that's all. But the more of these big details that are nearly exact, the better, I think. So there's an issue here, kind of, and that is that this floor is elevated. And based off of the other floor we made, it's elevated by 0.8 meters. Let's look in top-down view. So everything here, I select this. And then raise this by 0.8. 0.8. Okay. And then it looks like there's a ramp here as well. And probably a staircase. I'm just going to extrude that and pull that down to the surface. Uncheck align to rotation. It looks like there are 2 steps here, which would be kind of strange. Because if this is 0.8, then that would mean there would be 3 stairs beneath this. So we go down by 0.2. We'll go out by 0.3, kind of. Then the same again. Check vertex snapping. So this would be more likely, but I don't know. I might be misinterpreting this. Maybe this is a what's the word? Maybe that's just the top of the ramp that looks like that. I do still have the reference file I could open and check, but I don't really feel like it right now. I could pull this down. Let's see here. Okay. We got a staircase there. And I already made that one yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I can't remember. This one. So I could just copy that. And place it here. Seems like there's another one there as well on the other side. Snap it to the side there. And I'm just going to select these 2 verts, put the cursor right there in the middle, put a empty there, like so. I like to make the empties a bit bigger so I can see them from afar. Mirror across. And yeah, that's done, kind of, I guess. Seems like there's another elevation here. Huh. That would explain why there's only 2 steps here. So, okay. So 0.2 and then 0.4. So this is 0.4 tall. So if I remove this, then let's go into top-down view again. Hide this temporarily. So right here is where the staircase is. So I need to split this off. Let's go into this repeat, split it off, and then down by 0.2. Split this off as well. And then here is the step going up to this. Kind of looks like it should be taller. Like 2. So maybe I'll lower this by 0.2 instead and remove these steps here. Lower this by 0.2 again. Slight discrepancy there now, but it's okay. Sorry. There we go. And I guess this is not exactly what it looks like. If I check the reference again, this floor goes out. To about here. Okay, let's preview that. Okay, it's a bit better. I still need to change the textures of these floors, and the reason why they look skewed like this now in some places is because I need to UV unwrap them again. But this is just temporary for now. Also forgot to put some floors into this staircase room. Cool. Let's go into top down again, turn on the reference again. Just checking for more of those ventilations. It seems like there are some here with the same vents again. So maybe I should parent them or something so it's easier to grab. Here, I'm gonna put an empty right there. Select all of these, the empty last, parent to that thing there, and then move this to, where did I see that? It was something on the side here. Right there. Yeah. Just gonna keep looking, see if we can find any more of them. What I should do is go into the game and check some more of these details on the walls. So I see it there again. Just gonna select all of these, move this up. This place here, like this whole section sticking out, seems to be identical to this one down here as well. And there's some detail that seems to be in the roof here that maybe I forgot to remove for the reference. Okay. So now I need to decide if I want to add more detailed parts. So instead of having like this here, this like just a wall with a black top, if maybe instead I want to have the actual, let me just put the cube here. So the thing in the game, right? It looks something like this. I think. Rather than have this black top. This detail though, it goes lost if I have a top-down view, pretty much. It does look better though, I think. So also remove the bottom here. Make this taller. So this is a case where I'm lacking reference pictures because I have no idea how tall this is or anything. Maybe I can see one of them in these screenshots I took. So I think this might be it. No, it's not. I think. I'm just going to move this to the side for now, just so I can find it again. Yeah, no, I'm still missing a lot of detail. In terms of reference, I mean. So let's just adjust it a bit. It seems to be a bit off here. So I'm just going to raise this up, merge, select everything, limited dissolve, and I'll redo this because that edge wasn't that thick, right? It was something more like this. Then bump that down, move that face there. And I guess I could just edit this later to alter the height. Not good that it's taller than the wall though. And if I increase the height of the wall, that means some stuff will be obscured in the isometric view. If I go in here, so I'm mostly worried it's going to obscure this part here, this lower room, this basement room, but maybe this isn't that important either because this room is, I think it's like industrial loot down there or something. It shouldn't be too important to have that super visible. You can still tell that there's something there, right? So it should be okay. So for now, maybe I'll just use the same material on this. Just remove the blackout. Then I could change this later. Let's go back into top-down view. I'm going to change this location. Yeah, this seems to be the same, right? I think. Put that there, and then rotate this around. Put this over here. Now I will make a normal copy of this. So Control D, or Shift D rather. Just do that, apply scale. I'll be right back. I'm back. Right, let's keep placing these things on the sides. So this, I should probably name this right away. So let's select this by linked object data. I don't know what to call this either. And the origin is completely screwed up, but that's okay, I guess. You know what I'll do? I'll do that. I have a shortcut that puts the origin in the center of the geometry. And I did it to all of them at the same time, and that makes it so that they don't offset in any way. Then Control F2, set name, new, and I'll name this long. I don't know what this is, like a garage or something. Long garage extrusion. Okay. And then I'll put it in a collection called extrusions. I'll do the same thing here. Select linked object data, object is center, and then just making sure they didn't move upwards either. Control F2, set name. I just have this be the short garage extrusion. Put them in the same collection. Okay. And that way it'll just be a bit tidier. Cool, move this up. This one up. So I'm using the Alt-D shortcut all the time to make a data linked copy instead of a normal copy. So this is instanced, whereas if I do Shift-D, then this is unique. This is a unique mesh now, right? If I change this, nothing else changes because this is to Blender, this is unique. But these are data linked, they're instanced. So they're to Blender, these are the same mesh. So if I change one, they all change. And that's what I do with everything in the scenes. Everything that is repeated a lot will be instanced like this. And then I try and sort it in a good way. So right now I have a lot of collections with pillars, stairs, and all this stuff. And then later I'll add more. I'll have like a collection of, I don't know, tunnel architecture or something, and then I'll just put the pillars and the walls and the stairs and stuff like that in there, and so on. And that way it becomes even more manageable later on. So this seems like it's a garage, but it's got the same measurement. So maybe these are actually just garage things sticking out. I'm gonna hide these for now just so I can see where this should be. And these two overlap right now, but later I guess I'll just remove some of this exterior detail. Okay, there's one more long piece up there, so let's just pull that up. Okay. Go into the camera view and let's preview this again. See what it looks like now that I place those. Hide the tunnel reference there so we get this view a bit tidier. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good so far. Even in the top-down view, I think this probably looks nicer than the black, like solid black color like I'm using here. But I think for details that go all the way up to the roof, they should probably have this blackout material. Here I need to figure out something, probably use a boolean here or something. This. Doing this in rendered mode is probably not optimal for the stream, but hopefully it's okay. Do that, and then pull that all the way down. Select that last. Okay. So that's what I have to do with all of these entrances. Let's turn on the reference again. Have a look at what else we could add. So I've added pillars now. I've added the ventilations, whatever these are. I added some of these like pavement details, but maybe I should add some more. And in this case, because this, I don't think this is the same measurement, right? It's slightly different. From there to about there. So I'm going to make this a unique object like that. Let's pull this up to about there. And now I'm considering if I should add another empty here for the center of the tunnel itself. I think I'll do that. So I'm going to put a temporary plane again. Like this, just from corner to corner. And then to the edge of the wall over here. We drop that down. Put the origin center, put the cursor there. We can delete that, put an empty in there. Gonna make that quite large. So now anything mirrored with this will be like to the other side of the tunnel, right? Like that. Makes that a bit easier. You just need to make sure that this is actually mirrored as well. And of course it's not, so I have to remove that again. Remove the mirror. Gonna copy this one this time, I guess. And we make this a unique item. And in X-ray mode, just gonna pull this up to about there. Seems there's a pillar here I missed as well. Might as well put that in while I can. Okay. And then here, this seems to be the same size at least. This one seems to be a lot longer, so let's make that one too. Okay, this pavement here seems to be a little bit more unique, but I could probably use this to make that. Just think for a bit. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use this. So I'm just going to pull this down here because I think the curvature is always the same. And then I'm just going to pull it to some random place here, put the origin there, symmetrize across. And then I'm going to drag this out so that it fits like so. And then here, drag that out too. And the thing here is there's a ramp, right? So the ramp starts right there. So I'm going to use the knife tool here. I'm just going to make a cut like that. And then I'll put an empty at the end here. I'm not sure I need to though. Let's just use edge. Edge snapping worked, I think. Yeah, so now it's flat all the way up until it meets the ramp there, and then it goes up as well. Let's preview this again. This is going to look very distorted now since I haven't UV unwrapped that yet. But at least I'll get an idea if it's going to work, and it seems like it's going to work. And now I could also use that empty I made earlier to mirror across the room. It should work at least, but I need to double check because sometimes on BSG's maps they are not symmetrical perfectly. And that's not because they're bad or something, it's because in real life stuff isn't always symmetrical either. Not sure about the pronunciation there, but I think that's how you do it. So let's turn on the reference again. Just make sure it's not exactly, so I'm just gonna remove that mirror and just manually move this across. Okay, well, that's good. I don't obviously want this to appear in this area, so I'm just gonna have to use a boolean. Maybe it's easier with these plane actually to begin with. So I'll put the plane where I know I do not want to see this. So probably all the way over here. Snap it to, I don't know, there or something. Yeah, I do not want to see it there either. So let's just do this. I think this might be okay here. I just need to remove it on the other side of this wall. Extrude downwards, check the normals, gonna flip that. Let's fix some normals here. Anything else? Okay, let's see if I can cut this without any issues. It seems okay. Let's have a look in the preview again here. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm just gonna have to do the same thing on this side, so I'm just gonna pull in a plane, just the same as I did on that side. Snap to vertice, pull this over here. this down, flip it, and that should be it. Cool. The thing is, I don't want these to have the same texture, but I guess for now, I'll just do a project from view, just to get an idea. It's way wrong. Let's just do this. UV editing, textile density. Let's just copy that real quick and paste it here. Okay. So all of these like pavement areas, I'm going to change that texture later to like a brighter pavement, I guess, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I think adding this like pavement is a nice detail to add at least. Cool. Let's go back to view layer here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add more of these little rounded roadblock things. I forgot to do that last stream, so I might as well do it now. You see how this is not like in the middle of this rounded pavement? It kind of bothers me, but yeah. Just how it is. I think I'm gonna skip the details down here actually, because the map, or the tunnels rather, it ends here. So I'm just gonna cut that off later. It's pointless to add more detail on that side. Here I pressed V because these ones are lifted up since they're on the pavement, right? So I pressed V to drop it down onto the lower road. Okay. And here the tunnels get cut off. So I think that's it for those details. Let's check preview again. I can't remember if I put texture on those or not. Did not do that. So let's see if I can spot one of them in one of these screenshots. So it's like a concrete. That means I could just use the same concrete material that I'm already using. Nope, do not want to apply that. So that's good, I think. Bothers me that I did not put any material on these, so I guess I could do that as well. I just want to find one of them in a screenshot first. So I think this is it here. So it's got like a rusty lid kind of thing, it seems like, and it looks also as if it's not that indented. It's more like that, I think. And because all of these are instanced, right? If I change one of them, all of them change. So I just need to edit this one, and it should be fine. I think I'll add this here, make that a seam. This needs some sort of grid. I could maybe use the one I already have from making the my god, I can't talk anymore, the ventilation. So I could use that texture maybe. Yes, I think that's what I'll do. So let's do new, and I'm guessing that the bottom here is concrete. Let's just do this. Concrete. And I want this set to object, and the projection should be box, set to 0.3. We can preview it with Eevee. Looks like that. But then I want the top here to be rusty. So I'm just considering what to do here. I could use an image maybe that has both the details. So like a rusty image of a grate or some sort. So I was checking textures.com quickly. Rusty grate. No. Rusty something, metal. Rusty lids, maybe it's better. Rusty. I can't think of an item. Something that is rusty and has like a grid type thing on it. No, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to add another material. Don't really want to, but I have to in this case, I think. Then a very, very low rust texture, something like this. Assign, and this will be set to object as well, and box projection. roughness should be maxed. And then in the first material, the concrete one, I'm going to use a vertex mask again. Set this to be black color. Okay. One attribute node, and by default, a new vertex map's called attribute as well. So if I preview this, I should be able to view that. In the mix color nodes, and then I'm going to use this attribute as a factor, that anything that isn't, that should become black. So it looks like I'm just going to switch sides there. So this will be the grid in the middle of the floor. So I'm just going to bring in that same image I had before. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's an alpha, so I search for alpha. That's the one. And I'll put this into, this is white, so I don't want it to be white. I want it to be dark gray maybe, and then the background should be black. Right, I'm gonna put that there. Then increase the scale here. Let's actually use the concrete there as well. It looks okay, I guess, but let's maybe make it a bit bigger so it's more visible from a distance. So you'll see it if you zoom in. Okay. Then here, let's add an ambient occlusion node. Put that in here. And let's invert this. Invert color. Change this to darken. Maybe put a color ramp here, see if I can make it a bit more pronounced. Yeah, so there's like a contact shadow between where it connects to the floor there. Okay. That looks a lot better than the white version we had before. I might at some point bake this down though, because this is not very optimal. Let me check how much memory that is using. So if I go into to optimize here, and I think it's this one, selected objects, run benchmark, okay. 2.2 46 megabytes. It's not bad. It's fine. Especially since this is just going to be a standalone thing that I'm just going to render out, and then I'm going to combine this with the main map in Photoshop later. But yeah, how long have I been streaming now? I've been streaming for 1.5 hours, kind of. So I think I'm going to stop here, and I'll continue next time with adding some more detail. Probably going to make these garage ports next time, I think. And I'll definitely go into the game and take a bit more screenshots of stuff like this, the air conditionings and stuff that I know I want to put on the map. And maybe also find some different textures for these pavements on the sides. But yeah, I like the way it's going. I think it looks pretty good so far. But I still haven't decided if I want to have it top down or not. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you again tomorrow probably. I'll stream again at the same time, so 5 or 6 p.m. Central European time.